Hello, I'm Amber Ray, and The Healing Room is a channel that I created on YouTube for my healing journey with both physical health and mental health struggles. There's enough new subscribers on my channel right now that I kind of wanted to do like this introductory video just to introduce myself and get you familiarized with like what I'm dealing with, what's going on, and what I'm doing and the purpose of my channel. So I'm Amber Ray and I'm 42 years old. I am chronically ill and partially disabled. I am in a wheelchair, but I'm ambulatory. If you don't know what that means, it just means that I don't have to use the wheelchair at all times. I can walk. For my outings, I do use the wheelchair, especially for long outings, due to the fact that my stamina is real low. I'm a fall risk. I get dizzy. I have POTS, which is a blood sugar or a blood pressure issue. And so rather than fainting, falling, and hurting myself, I use a wheelchair for protection. My legs sometimes decide just not to work, so the wheelchair is kind of my best friend when I'm out and about. Prior to having a wheelchair, I didn't actually leave the house very much. I'm actually an agoraphobic, and what that means is I don't do well with public places, and it's not so much because of people. I also am autistic. I have Asperger's, which is just called autism spectrum disorder now, ASD. I have ASD, and I get very overstimulated. Lights, sound, temperature, wind really gets me for some reason. Things like that. So going into public places is really hard because I can't always control those things, the light, the temperature, stuff like that. And so I've been an agoraphobic for about 10 years, which is really crazy because prior to that, I was a very, very social butterfly. And even now, I'm a musician, a singer, songwriter. I do some modeling. I make art and sell it. So I do a lot of entertainment type things, which have a lot to do with people. So being an agoraphobic is just very ironic with my career and stuff. I wanted to talk a little bit about my illnesses. I am a little symptomatic right now, but it's not so bad. I do get worse the longer I talk, so just kind of bear with me. It started out in 2012. I got sick, and it was literally like overnight. Prior to that, I had fibromyalgia, and that was all I had. I was super healthy. I shouldn't say all I had, because those of you out there who have fibro, you guys know how much of a pain in the ass it is. It is so painful, and it is debilitating. So I don't mean to not, validate it. It's very validated. I know the harm that it brings and the struggles that it brings, and I'm just saying, other than the fibromyalgia, I was a very healthy 20-something-year-old mother. So I literally went to bed one night in my 20s, and I woke up the next morning and I had flu-like symptoms, and they never went away. And it took until January of 2016 before I finally got a diagnosis of chronic Lyme disease, neuroborreliosis, which is Lyme in the brain. And by then it was so bad, it had affected my brain, my heart, my joints, probably other organs as well. Those are just the ones we knew of, my brain, heart, joints, stuff like that. Walking was really hard. I took a lot of falls because my legs would just stop working. I had a lot of heart issues, tachycardia, bradycardia, palpitations. I do have panic disorder with agoraphobia. I said that before. Let's see. I struggle with an adult eating disorder called ARFID. It's avoidant restrictive food intake disorder. And it's not really in comparison to like anorexia or bulimia, nothing like that. I do eat. I love food. I'm actually a foodie. Food is really like my best friend. But I am fearful of a lot of different foods due to textures. I worry about choking. I really worry about allergic reactions, which is the biggest reason why I struggle with ARFID. And so I am malnourished. The things that I have on my safe list for foods are often junky type of foods, which isn't good for me. And I'm really trying to make the switch over to healthier foods. I try to eat really clean. I eat a lot of fruits and veggies, salads, chicken, stuff like that. But when it's snack time and I'm hungry in between meals, I often eat stuff that I should not, like half a bag of chips or Pop-Tarts or donuts, stuff like that, which is terrible for me. So I have ARFID with the food and stuff too, but I also have a fear of taking any kind of like medicine or chemical type stuff. So even Tylenol and vitamins is really hard for me. I have to talk myself into taking it. It's a mess. It totally is a mess. I'm a mess, and yeah, it's quite the struggle. So I dealt with the Lyme disease for a very long time, and in 2021, I went into remission with the Lyme disease. I have not had an active case of it or a positive test since then. I get tested yearly, every January, to see if I'm positive for Lyme again, because it could reactivate at any time. Trauma can bring it, a viral infection can bring it, just all kinds of stuff. So I live in fear a lot. Lyme disease was one of the scariest things I ever dealt with in my entire life. It almost killed me multiple times. It really did a lot of damage to my body, and I'm still reaping the repercussions of that disease. So it is just an absolute horrible disease. I've been tested for a lot of things, Parkinson's, MS, lupus. I do have a lot of those types of symptoms, and so far none of that has come back positive. My last MRI was in 2022, and that one did indicate MS. But the one neurologist that had looked at it said he wasn't comfortable with diagnosing it quite yet. They're waiting for lesions to show up or something, which is silly because you don't actually need lesions or active lesions to be diagnosed with MS. So everything's kind of up in the air. Right now I struggle with, it's called FND, Functional Neurological Disorder. And for me, it was more than likely, it's a trauma-based disorder. Basically, I had prolonged PTSD, high stress, anxiety, that type of stuff for so long that it had broke my central nervous system, basically. And so FND is where the brain doesn't send and receive signals to the body properly. And so a lot of things get messed up. I'll have vision issues, headaches, pain, nerves, sensations everywhere. Tourettes, I developed tics, which is just like Tourette's, only I wasn't born with it. I've only had it for about 4.5 years or so. It has gotten a lot worse over the last year, which is often why I don't make these videos much anymore, because I hate being so symptomatic on the video. I don't know, but I'm trying to get better about that. I'm trying to just go ahead and live my life and do these things even though I am symptomatic, because I can't hide it. It's just a part of who I am. So I'm trying to get comfortable with that and accept it. It's been really hard. So I have that. I have a lot of neuropathies, neurological neuropathies, stuff like that. I have a lot of diagnoses. I had POTS, I had talked about that. And they're just nasty ones. And unfortunately, they're ones that you can't do a whole lot about. Like I was saying, my FND is a trauma-based, not always, but in my case, it's a trauma-based disorder. My psych broke, my central nervous system broke, and just messed everything up. So it's a neurological condition and a psych condition. So on MRIs or scans or whatever, the brain looks beautiful and healthy. There's no issues with it. And how they describe it is there's no issues with your hardware. It's the software that's bad. So the programming is bad. And that's a really good description of FND. So my brain looks great on scans, but I'm all wonky because the messages are not coming through correctly. They're not getting sent correctly. Sometimes I'll be walking and I'll have leg drop. My legs won't work. I'll be half blind some days. I also struggle or suffer from PNES, which is psychogenic non-epileptic seizures, and I am so grateful that they are non-epileptic. I'm so happy I don't have epilepsy. The seizures are a pain in the ass, but they are not dangerous to me as long as I don't hit my head or anything during a seizure. And my seizures are brought on by stress, heat, not enough sleep, emotional distress, high anxiety for prolonged periods, stuff like that. I'm really learning my triggers, and those are the main ones. Heat is a really bad one for me, which is also why some of the doctors that I visit with really think that I have MS, because I'm a walking textbook case of MS. But I just haven't been diagnosed with it yet. I have 3 MRIs in one day on September 18th, so coming up in a couple of months, and we are doing brain, spine, and liver. My last CAT scan that I did, we did find 2 tumors on my liver, and there was some growth compared to a last CAT scan, so we're just trying to see, what's going on there. My fingers are crossed that it's not the C word, because that one scares me a lot. Not that all of the stuff that I'm already dealing with isn't scary, it really is, but the C word definitely scares me. So I'm hoping that it's not that. I also had some hernias that turned up and trying to get those repaired soon. So I have a lot on my plate. I have a lot going on. I have 4 daughters. 2 are out on their own and have families of their own and kids of their own. My 3rd daughter, she's about to go off to college this fall. She's 18. She'll be 18, and I'm just going through the whole, lonely nest or whatever it's called. My youngest daughter, she's 14, and so she's starting high school. So I still have a few more years left with her, but almost all my babies are leaving me. That's been a big stressor, emotional distress for me. So I'm trying to work through that healthy, in a healthy, positive way. So I have the 4 daughters and I have 4 grandkids as well. I'm a nana, and it's like the best part of my entire life, being a mom and a nana. It's just so rewarding, and I absolutely love it. It brings so much joy to my life. Like I was saying at the beginning of the video, I'm a singer, a songwriter. I do some modeling, and I make art. I also do the healing room videos, and I do a lot of shorts. I do daily short YouTube videos, which are becoming very popular. And I do this because for a few reasons. One, it really helps me to just sort of talk about it, talk about the things that bother me with chronic illness or that are affecting me. It helps me to relate to others who have it so I don't feel so lonely. I like the fact that I can help others so they don't feel lonely, to inspire them. And it's also nice because you start talking to people who are going through the same things as you. Not only does it help to not feel lonely, but you actually learn something from it too. And so it's just really, really helpful for me. It's been a godsend in my healing journey. And so I recommend everyone who is dealing with chronic illness and or disability to just start talking about it. Like, don't, I don't want to say that this is who we are. It doesn't define us, but it definitely is good to accept that it is a part of your life. It is a part of, because for some of us, it is a lot of our life. We are chronically disabled and chronically ill. So it being a majority of your life, you know, acceptance is a good thing. Accept, adjust, advance. That's kind of my motto. Like, just keep going with that. I have a home studio because, like I said earlier, I'm an agoraphobic, so public is really hard for me. I do have to medicate to go out in public. I have not gotten back to restaurants, movie theaters, concerts, carnivals, anything like that. I don't do that kind of stuff. I just recently in the last year started going back to the mall for half hour, 45 minutes at a time. I am going to the doctor again because for a while there I was medically neglecting myself. I could not even do in-house doctor appointments. I was able to do telehealth, which is doctor appointment over the phone or the computer. I can do those, but yeah, so it's been a hard struggle. I'm trying so hard. I'm fighting and clawing my way back to society and all this stuff. I miss touring with my music and playing at venues, and I miss the people. I miss the social aspect of it. I almost started crying. It's really hard. I had a lot of opportunities on my plate, and when I got sick, it just sort of got rid of everything. All my opportunities, all my hopes, dreams, it just took everything away. It's been such a damn thief in my life. But when I think about that, I do feel a little sad, but I think about it in a different light now. I think about it as a motivation to fight harder, to take my life back, to get those opportunities back, those chances. They're still there. They're just more out of reach, if that makes sense. So I hope you're able to think in a more positive light like that too. I know it's really hard. Trust me, I know. And I try to be positive, and I usually do find the silver linings in everything, but I do have my days where I am so damn negative, and you know what? I allow myself that. I give myself that day to throw my pity parties or whatever I need to do. I struggle, I'm in pain all the time, so I'm allowed, but I make sure not to stay in that negative zone for very long, because that does no good for me, for anybody, for my kids, my grandkids. It's not good. But I do believe that allowing ourselves to feel what we are feeling is very essential in your healing process. So don't let anybody tell you that you shouldn't be feeling sorry for yourself or this or that, because yes, you should. You can feel sorry for yourself, because who the hell else is gonna? It's really difficult. But just try not to stay in that state where you're just all about the negativity and, oh, woe is me, and why did this happen? And, I get it. I'm like that some days too. But I pick myself up as quick as I can and start advancing forward. If there's anything you'd like to know about me, feel free to ask. I like talking about my journey, my illnesses, my journey. A lot of the trauma, because I had said my FND, my disorder that I deal with, and my seizures that I deal with, it's a trauma-based disorder for me. And what happened is I am a survivor of physical abuse and sexual abuse. And so it happened so much in my life that like I said, broke. I didn't deal with it properly. I didn't get myself help in time. I just figured, I just sort of squashed it all down and kept trying to go forward, and eventually I just shattered. And so I'm a huge advocate for domestic abuse, physical abuse, sexual abuse, any of that stuff. It's happened to me so many times, more times than I have fingers. So, It's been really, really hard. I do want to say that I decided to give EMDR a chance, and it helped me so much. Right now, I'm actually doing trauma care, which is where I am talking about all of my trauma. So I'm going through it again. I'm reliving it. I started at my childhood, and I'm working all the way to current. So it's not easy. It takes a lot, and of course, because my symptoms and my illness is so closely related to emotional distress and anxiety and stuff like that, I'm all flared up because I'm talking about these horrible things that happened to me. But I have to go through it. I need to get it all to the surface so that I can deal with it and then heal from it. That's the only way to do it. You have to, recognize it. You can't just keep squashing it down. And it sucks. I'm not gonna lie. It sucks so bad to have to relive that shit, to get stuck in your head, and I understand. I really do. You're strong enough to live through it, so you can do this again to get it out, and then get yourself some help. Do behavioral health therapy. If you need to have medication, do that. There's no shame in getting help. In fact, you are so brave for trying to get yourself help. That's amazing. And then what else do I do? Oh, the EMDR. The EMDR was so helpful. It took those memories. So those memories that would kind of present themselves as like a flashback, and it would just throw me into the rabbit hole, and I would just downward spiral for who knows how long, days, weeks, sometimes months. EMDR took those memories and didn't completely erase them, made them fuzzy, so I can still think about the memory and I can start to recall it, but I get to a certain point right before the really bad stuff happens and it goes fuzzy in my brain. So it's there, but my brain's just not wanting to access it. Like, it doesn't need to anymore because I'm dealing with it. It's a wonderful thing. You should look it up. It's called EMDR. It's a therapy used for PTSD and some other things, and it's just great. I can't say enough great things about it. So, like I was saying earlier, if there's anything else that you would like to ask or to know about me, please do in the comments. I'll message you, or I'll answer as soon as I see it. And I would like to know what chronic illness and or disability you're dealing with, or mental health struggles. Like, I would really like to know what everybody's dealing with, just so that we can kind of get it out there in the open and start talking about it. And I feel like we can help each other heal. And I'm so glad all you guys are here with me for my healing journey. And I hope that you're healing right along with me. I'll talk to you guys probably next week, and I hope you're enjoying the YouTube shorts. So, all right. Have a great rest of your week and a great weekend. Thanks, guys. Bye.